The Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14 over in Germany, despite Kansas City scoring no points in the second half of this football game. And you see both of these offenses are tied for 14 points by the time this game is over with. And that one play that you really look back at is the Kansas City scoop and score off of Tyreek Hill, really that deciding factor. But I'm not going to be as harsh on Miami after this game. They are still 0-3, of course, against winning teams this year. But that defense with Xavier Howard, with Jalen Ramsey, the way that they held that actual Chiefs offense to 14 points, because again, that scoop and score gave them the extra 7 to give them the 21-14 lead. But Vic Fangio, the schemes he was coming out with, knowing that Travis Kelce was not going to be the one to beat him. Travis Kelce had not had a game with this low of production, 3 catches, 14 yards in 2 years. Week 8 of 2021 was the last time Travis Kelce was not this involved in a football game. So you have to give credit to that with the Miami Dolphins, as we see a Bills team hang 48 on them. We see an Eagles team put 31 on them. We've seen teams time in and time out put points up on their head. And when they hold this Kansas City Chiefs offense to 14, 21 in total, you have to give that a testament. But we know the stats that are floating around about the Miami Dolphins right now. Teams that are currently teams that are currently over 500 that the Dolphins have played this year. They're winless 0-3, 17 points per game, and 310 yards per game. They are also losing by an average of 16 points in these affairs. Of course, they only lose by 7 to Kansas City, so that's even a testament there. But when the Miami Dolphins play teams that are currently under 500 with a losing record, they're undefeated 6-0. They're scoring 22 more points per game, 39 compared to 17, 498. So let's just go ahead and round it up to 500 yards of total offense compared to the 310. And we've heard these stats floating around all week. They're winning by an average of 18 points to teams that are below 500, but losing by almost the same margin, 16 points to teams that are above 500. They've got losses to the Bills, losses to the Eagles, and now a loss to the Chiefs as well. And they're going to have to play those teams as they chase towards the Super Bowl, as they get towards Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. A lot of people talking about Miami being a Super Bowl contender. I've said it all season. I'd love to see Miami go and do it. I'd love to see Tua and Tyreek Hill and Raheem Mostert and Devon Achane and Mike McDaniel actually go the distance with this franchise. But they're going to have to play the Bills, the Eagles, the Bills, the Chiefs. If they get to the Super Bowl, they're possibly going to see the Eagles. They're possibly going to see the Niners. They're going to have to face the Ravens on the way to the playoffs, because we know that those are the heavy hitters. Those are the contenders currently in the AFC. And if you're going to go there as the Miami Dolphins, you're going to have to face those teams. Now, we do get to see Xavier Howard and Jalen Ramsey play, and this team, again, holds Kansas City to no second half points, 14 offensive points, the best outing of the season by far. Now, a couple things we look at is, Tyreek Hill drops another big pass that is very uncharacteristic of him. We have Cedric Wilson and Tua miscommunicating on a pass that was floated. Should have been an easy walk-in touchdown. The first pass to Cedric Wilson was very nice. Love that from Tua. Very nice execution. After racking up 200 yards, 12 first downs, and 14 points in the first half, the Chiefs offense had 67 yards, did not convert a third down, and they were held scoreless after halftime. So that's just a testament to what this Miami Dolphins defense, Vic Fangio, those schemes were actually able to do. Bradley Chubb had a strip sack on Patrick Mahomes in the third quarter that got Miami set up for the second touchdown of the day. And to know that Miami came into this game 15th in total defense, 25th in points allowed, and able to do what they did with the Chiefs. Unfortunately, they do lose the football game. Dolphins were 3 for 12 on third down and 0 for 1 on fourth down as well in this game. And it kind of looked like the Chiefs were going to run away with it when the game first started off. They score early on, just 3 minutes off the clock, already going up 7-0, 21-0 going into halftime. You have the strip of Tyreek Hill, the run back, Mike Edwards pitching it to Cook. What a play. Probably going to go down as the play of the year. I watched that one happen live as I was cutting up content on Sunday morning. I was like, that dude had to have ran track. I mean, Cook was high knees, heels up, like chopping it to the end zone, absolutely taking off. And I love to see this game. 9:30 in the morning in Germany, turnover, 21-0 going into halftime Chiefs. So what a play that was. We'll probably see that be a play of the year candidate as we get into the end. But you see the Chiefs sacked Tua 3 times in this game. They held him to a season low 193 passing yards. And the storyline of this game, right? Both offenses are struggling, putting up 14 points each. The Dolphins had a botched snap on the very last play of the game. You hate to see the game end like that. You had a miscommunicated pass to Cedric Wilson. We talked about the floater that should have been the walk-in touchdown. The drop by Tyreek Hill, very uncharacteristic, and a fumble by Tyreek as well, which would be returned for the touchdown. Those four plays right there: botch snap, miscommunicated pass to Wilson, drop by Tyreek, fumble by Tyreek. Those four plays decided this football game. Because to know that the Dolphins actually had the grit in them on the road, excuse me, y'all, on the road in Germany, well, neutral site, getting there early. They actually got there Monday for the game. The Chiefs showed up Friday. So the Dolphins wanted to be across, be overseas, be in the separate continent for the game so they'd be able to prepare, and it didn't necessarily help the Dolphins out. So I want to hear from y'all. Get in the chat, get in the comments as we saw a possible AFC title game preview as the Chiefs and the Dolphins square off in Germany. Chiefs beat the Dolphins 21-14 despite no points in the second half for the Kansas City Chiefs.